Hi, I'm Danny Nucci,
Jason Burns,
and this is the What About podcast. Jason, who's Timothy? Is that what it says? Timothy on your shirt?
It says Jimothy. He's a viral sensation.
It looks like a university shirt.
Raccoon. It's actually, if I pull it up more, it's Jimothy for president.
Oh, Jimothy for president.
So I have a dog.
What is he? He's a raccoon?
Big Jim. He's did you say raccoon?
Yeah, you see a raccoon? Is that what you just said?
A raccoon.
Sure. Is he a raccoon?
He is a raccoon, but he has a issue with his spine, and so he looks like that guy right there. But he's a viral sensation. So we have a dog named Jim.
He's a Quasimodo raccoon? Okay.
That is horrible. We're going to get lots of hate mail. People love Jimothy.
I got no issue with Jimothy. I'm just trying to figure out who he is.
He's a little raccoon.
Got it. He's a curved spine raccoon. Fine.
That's correct.
Got no problem. Mm-hmm. All right. Enough of that. Today on the show, we have Chris Parnell, who's had a very busy summer from Rick and Morty, the Dink, the Hawk.
I think he might even be Spider-Man. I mean, you can't tell because he's got the mask on. But
he could be, by the way.
He's doing everything.
But anyway, Chris is going to talk about long distance running. Camille Perri is going to talk about dog parks. Her book, Social Animals, is available right now. And Ryan Hamilton performs the Come to Jesus moment from his latest record. But first up is Chris Parnell to talk about long distance running. Here he is, Chris Parnell.
Chris Parnell, thanks for joining. We're talking long distance running today. You are a long distance runner. Can you tell us how?
Hold on, before you ask me that question. I'm gonna interrupt right away.
All right.
Because I'm horrible this way. So, Chris, let me ask you this: you do so much voiceover stuff. Do you do most of it from your home studio?
No.
You go in.
Yeah, I go in. I do auditions from here. But
yeah,
I almost always go in for sessions.
You do,
which I prefer because I would rather not have to be the engineer too. You know.
Sure, of course, of course. I just thought they can engineer it from wherever they are because I've done it that way. True. But I was just curious if you have to leave your house to do anything other than run. But apparently, yes.
I do, yes.
Well, talk to us about how running came into your life, Chris, because, a lot of people talk about it. They want to get in and start, hitting the streets or the parks and running. But how did it come into your life?
I'm trying to remember when I started. I started at some point here in LA. I got a treadmill. And I primarily ran on my treadmill in my apartment in Hollywood. And then when
downstairs unit, I hope.
What was it? No, it was an upstairs unit.
Oh, that's good. That's good for your neighbor.
And then I got SNL and moved to New York, and I took the treadmill with me and continued to run there on the treadmill. And then when I was done with SNL and came back to LA, I moved to the neighborhood of Silver Lake, which has this reservoir and there's a great path around it. And then it's very hilly in the neighborhood. So I was like, this is beautiful. This is great. I'm just going to run in the neighborhood, So then that's, I've been.
So this has been like decades of your life, not just a recent addition to your routine.
No, but it's been spotty. It's only within the last few years that I've gotten more regular about it. And I still struggle to get in my 3 runs a week because if I'm working, that makes it hard, or if I travel, that makes it hard. And
are you a morning person? Do you get out when there's nobody out there?
No.
See, that's the thing. Is because if you're not a morning person, then trying to find the time becomes much more challenging.
Well, when the weather is mild, like it is this week, and
you live in LA, Chris. There's always running weather here, unless it's pouring rain, which is 4 times a year.
Well, the rain is fine. It's just when it's I try to avoid it when it's cold in the morning and all that, or if it's very hot in midday. But mostly I end up running like in the middle of the day, the worst sort of possible.
Sure,
time.
Not great, especially in LA. The smog about that time starts to really come down.
Yeah.
And do you? Because I live not far from you. Do you live in? Do you run in the hills in Griffith Park? Because that's just great running.
It is. No, I don't. That's too far to get to. So I just stay in my.
You'd have to drive. Yeah.
So my wife is a runner, and she was training for a marathon last year, and so she had a do increasingly longer and longer runs. And, my biggest question for her was always, what are you doing in those 3 hours of running, those 2 hours of running? Like, what do you do mentally during that time? Is it almost like meditation in a way?
What do you do? That's funny.
But mentally,
my taxes in my head. I mean, what are you talking about? Like, you're running.
I go through a lot of things in my head, but it's not. I wouldn't describe it as meditation. It's more working out my stuff. You
have stuff.
I have stuff. Yeah.
Okay, go on.
I know I'm the only one, but
can you tell us more about this stuff? No, I'm just kidding. So you're not a podcast or music or general? No, you just go straight. And how long generally do you run now? What's the most that you run on a regular basis? It's
about 6.25, 6.5 miles.
Oh yeah, so you're basically doing a 10K a day when you run.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I try to. That's what I try to do. Sometimes I'll go a little further. If I'm consistent with my running, I get up to 6.75, and the goal is to get into further distances, but I could never do like a half marathon. I'm just not nearly there, and that's fine. It's fine.
Well, it's not what you want, not why you're doing it. You're not trying to train to complete a marathon.
I am not.
Let's talk about why you're doing it. Is it a mental release for you, a physical release? What is the drive?
Well, it definitely, the main drive is just health. It's like the only exercise I really enjoy doing. And, I'm 59 and it's just like, I want to stay as healthy as I can, as long as I can. And, and I know that vigorous exercise is a way to help your brain and your body and all of it. So that's the main driver. And then, I definitely feel better when I'm doing it consistently, emotionally and physically. And, it just puts me in a better place.
And given that you're not 30 anymore, is there a recovery time for you when you run? Like, do you need to do it every other day, or can you go?
Yeah, I do every other day.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, your body starts to break down a little bit. My body? Where am I from? Your body starts to break down, right?
Yeah, I try to go 3 times a week. Every other day, and then usually once a week I'll usually go 2 days off.
Will you go a longer day on the weekend?
Not necessarily. It all depends on the week leading up to that, and then also how much sleep I've gotten the night before. That makes such a huge difference for me. If I've had a good sleep, I can go a lot further.
Really? So you've noticed that you're like, oh yeah, I can go an extra mile here.
Well, it's just I feel, if I feel the energy in my body, if I feel like I've got it, and and also it affects my pace. So I'm not.
Do you concern yourself with that pace?
I do, just for my own personal, goals. Ideally, I'm not a fast runner. I like to keep it under 10-minute miles if I can, but it's usually, lately it's like 10.5-minute miles. And then when I'm in a really good place, I can, get down to 9.5-minute miles.
Does being a runner open you up for adventure, Chris? Like if you're on location, will you try to find a place that you can run that maybe you're not familiar with?
I do. Yeah. I shot something in Atlanta, and there's a great park there, the name of which escapes me. But yeah, I would run around that.
Is it
park.
Piedmont?
It might be. It's a very big park, sort of in the middle of town.
I've been there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So that was a great place to go. But it's like if I happen to be in New York, usually when I'm traveling, I'm going to run in the gym at the hotel, But if I'm there for a longer stay and there's a good spot, that I can go to easily.
So you're okay with running on the treadmill for an hour, for whatever the amount of miles that you're doing it?
It's not my favorite, but better than
but
not.
You got to do it to stay consistent, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And even then, you're not putting anything, no headphones or anything. You're just seeing people get on the treadmill next to you, seeing people get off the treadmill next to you.
That's the thing. You find out that very few people work out in hotel gyms.
Yeah,
there's some people that do, but we're few and far between, I think.
And
do you all know each other? Is there a network?
Is
a Facebook group? Yeah,
sure.
Is the runner high real for you, Chris? Do you feel like after the fact that you're in a better mood, you're in a better mental state than you were before you started?
I think I'm in a better mental state. I wouldn't describe it as a high, but I'm definitely in a better, everything's just, working better. Usually I'm pretty worn out, but, as long as I haven't gone too hard or too fast, and I've had a good rest the night before, it's, I'm okay. I'm all right.
So are you shattered at the end of it? So you come home about right before dinner if you're going on an afternoon run? And I mean, are you good for anything? I mean, is this like can you go out at this point? Can you make dinner? Do you just want to sit in front of the TV? What happens?
I could go out. I could go out, yeah, but I don't go out hardly ever.
Sure.
I'm not a.
I understand.
Yeah.
So don't I.
Yeah. Usually I'm just here with my family, and usually I'm usually wrapped up with a run by 2 p.m. at the latest. So,
which is why I'm asking, because I would be done for the rest of the day. That's it. Don't call me. There's nothing I'm going to do from this moment on. I will be binge watching and sitting on the couch and doing nothing.
Well, sometimes after a run, my younger son will want to go for a stroll. So I will gather up the reserves and
sure. How old is he?
He's 9, but he's special needs. So he needs he's kind of a big guy. So he takes a lot of energy. Yeah, just to stroll, push him in the stroller. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So back, you mentioned, Chris, that you were running during SNL. SNL is a high stress job. Was the running part of decompressing from that high stress job?
I think it was more a matter of maintaining, physical and mental health. There's this great NBC gym there at 30 Rock. And so I would run in the gym, and you leave your clothes there in a bag and they'd wash them for you and put them back in your locker. So it was very, very convenient.
Network television.
Yeah. That was a great perk of working there.
See, I would think you'd run in Central Park. You'd be like, this is fantastic. I get to do that loop, which I think is about 6 miles. Is it not?
I do not know. Probably. I think
it's around there. It's like around that long.
Yeah, I have run in Central Park. But yeah, no, it takes a lot of more effort to like get from here to there and do it and then come back and change and all that. And when it's all right there at 30 Rock, you just run downstairs to the gym, do that and shower, and you're back at work.
I must say, there is an efficiency to the way that you run. I don't need headphones. A treadmill in a hotel is fine. I don't need a view. I'm doing it for 6 months. I mean, I'm there to do a job, to do my thing, and then I am done and moving on with my life, which is fantastic. See, most people get caught in all the accoutrement. So let me ask you this. Speaking of accoutrement, are you a gear guy? Do you have to have new shoes? Is the outfit, obviously you don't go out, do you concern yourself with the outfit and whatnot?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got, legit running shirts, shorts, shoes, and I try to trade out my shoes every 500 or 600 miles, and just depending on when they start to feel like less cushiony. Mm-hmm. And then I have a running watch that I sync with satellite, and I keep up with my mileage, my distance, my time, all that kind of thing.
So that's how you basically measure because you were talking about measuring things like, I do a 9.5 minute mile sometimes. So you're just measuring, it measures everything for you.
Yeah, exactly. And even heart rate, which is...
Like I said, you're so efficient in the way that you run. You've got a whole system.
Yeah, I try to make it as easy on myself as I can. And the reason I don't listen to music or anything or podcasts, it's too much input for my limited brain power. Mm-hmm. And also it's a little bit of a safety thing, because it's mainly a safety thing. I want to be able to hear what's coming up behind me. And
I would always say that to my wife. It's like, even we live in a not busy neighborhood and she could run through the neighborhood, but what if a dog's coming at you? What if whatever is coming at you and you can't hear it because you're listening to your mix? And
exactly. And also, if there's music, I want to try to hit the beat, and that messes me up.
Oh, that's a good point. Yep. Yeah, you just got to listen to Staying Alive the whole time to try to keep one beat.
I've tried to do that. Apple has something where they go they exercise by BPMs. They have like playlists that are BPM playlists.
Right.
I always fail. I've done it on the treadmill. I always fail. Now, do you have a nice treadmill at home now?
I do. I have a very nice treadmill, but it's in my garage, and it is out of
140 degrees in there.
Probably, yeah. I mean, it's pretty warm, but also the treadmill, I would have to like blow it out, and it's it probably wouldn't work right now without a little bit of maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So you want me to come by and pick it up and just give it to me like goodwill? I understand. No, I actually have it. I have a treadmill. It's called a Woodway. Are you familiar with this?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, check that out. Next time you go to a gym or something, see if they have a Woodway treadmill. They're little wooden slats within the tread, the rubber, the rubber belt, and it's like running in a basketball gym.
Oh, wow.
You know, like on hardwood floor. It's really good.
Yeah. So it's the point of it is easier on your joints?
Yeah.
Or okay, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point too, Chris. You bring it easier on joints. You mentioned you're 59. Like that's not something you worry about in terms of
59. A young and efficient 59. Don't kid yourself.
But like knees and just like plantar fasciitis, all that stuff. Do you think keeping going makes injury less likely?
Well, that, and then I do certain exercises after the run, like with my legs and stuff, to try to make sure the muscles around my knees stay strong. You know, the tendons and ligaments and all that stuff. And so I think that makes a difference. You know, I think that helps.
Hold on. So there's a warm down thing that you do?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I don't know. I'm asking. Hey, that's why we're here. I don't know. I want to know. You're like, of course, asshole. Of course I do. No, like, how long does this process take? Is it like a 15-minute, a 20-minute?
Well, it's if I do the whole thing, it's also exercise, not just warm down, but it's like 25, 30 minutes. But I do stretching first, and then I do some other stuff, and you know, some planks and some pull-ups, and then these clams, you know, with your legs and things like that.
So some of it is protective to keep yourself, you know, loose for the next run and not to have everything tightened up. But part of it is just part of your exercise routine. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, beyond the running, it's a pretty minimal exercise routine. But
I do think the longer you stay sedentary, the harder it is to get going again. It's like the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz, and you know, oil can. The joints need to keep moving in order to avoid breaking down.
Yes.
And you know, people want to generally start where you've built up to. Right. So if you were to sort of give advice based on your own experience, and again, you're the perfect person to suggest something because you're not trying to run super marathons. You're not a 7 days a week, 10 miles a day guy.
I'm not.
Where would you have them start? How would you have them get going?
I don't know, maybe an app or something that sort of builds you up slowly. You know, you start with walking, of course, and then you do that for a bit, and then you add in some little jogs into that walk, and then you build up from there. But
so like a walk run to start with?
Well, probably a walk to start with, and check with your doctor and make sure.
I'm already moving fast. No, the walk's not going to be good enough if I don't need the walk. It's got to be a walk run to begin.
Check with your physician and make sure they agree that you're okay to do this.
I love check with your physician.
Finally, Chris, my question is actually physician related. What would Dr. 𝗙cie𝗯𝗯𝗲 say about your routine in terms of your running routine? Would he be on board?
I doubt it. He doesn't seem like a very active guy to me. I don't think so.
Here's Camille Perri, who wrote the new book, Social Animals, which I loved, talking about dog parks because they are some kind of social experiment here. I got to be honest with you.
And she really goes into this, which I really appreciate. So, but don't take it from me. Here she is, Camille Perri.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Is that
but not when you're talking. They just
started doing they're doing construction upstairs in my apartment.
I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, I can remove it. No, I can remove it from the audio.
It literally just started too. Yeah, as soon as I sat down.
Is that me? Because thank God it's not me. I'd have to go outside and say something, and then I may not come back. So.
New York City living, it's a constant struggle.
I got 3 dogs, and right around, we're going to be butting up against what my wife and I call bark o'clock, which is right around 2:00 Eastern. They just start barking for no reason. So I get it.
I know bark o'clock. We have that at 4 p.m. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, for those who don't have dogs, Camille, I have 3. You have dog. Danny doesn't have a dog. For those who haven't experienced,
Why'd you say that so sad? Danny doesn't have a dog.
Danny doesn't have a dog.
Did you hear the tone? He was like, Danny doesn't have a dog.
I heard it. I heard that tone.
For those who don't have a dog and haven't been to a dog park, walk us through the experience, the etiquette, and just what it means for people to assimilate to that world, because really they're their own world.
Dog parks are weird, wild places, and I think they're total reflections of the communities that they're in. Mm-hmm. So everyone is a little bit different. That they service. Yeah. I think each one has its own personality, though. So a suburban dog park is going to be different than an urban, city dog park. The groups of people that you get are going to be different. But what makes them so interesting is that they're public spaces where everyone is welcome. And whenever that's the case, you're going to have interesting characters bumping up once again, up against one another.
A variety?
Yeah. People who normally under other circumstances would not be socializing with one another. So my first experience going to the dog park with my dog Pip was while we were living in Rockville, Maryland during the COVID pandemic. And it was our only social life. So I was looking forward to going to the dog park at 5:30 every night, like it was a favorite TV show. It was our only social life at the time. And I learned really quickly that there were politics to the place, there was drama, there was gossip, who slept with who no longer spoke to who because of whatever drama had happened a few years ago and they had to stay on opposite sides of the field.
Just to be clear, this is the people, not the dogs.
This is the people. The dogs are much better behaved than the people.
They're way better behaved.
All right.
And here's the amazing thing about dog parks is that I think more than anywhere else in the world, people are always willing to share their opinions on anything. Whereas it's like the physical equivalent of social media, because people are very outspoken at a dog park where they might not be elsewhere.
They'll say anything. And there's weird etiquette in that it's almost acceptable to say anything about another person's dog. There will be people who will outwardly fat shame other people's pets. One of the first times I went to the dog park,
I can only imagine this at the park with the children. It would just not go over well.
Right? You'd think there'd be fist fights, but for some reason it's okay. One of the first times we went to the park, there was this one little schnauzer that really disliked my dog a lot and was kind of going after it and barking at it and just clearly just wasn't feeling my dog at all. And the owner said, "Oh, you'll have to excuse Buster. Buster doesn't like dogs with smushed in faces." Because my dog's a Brussels Griffon and
which
has
made it into the book, right?
Like faces,
But
I was like, how's that a PC thing to say? How dare you say that? I think it's okay.
How do you come to that conclusion? What experience have you had that has brought you to that conclusion?
Because essentially what that person is saying is, I don't like dogs with smushed in faces, and I'm going to project that on my dog.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Well, you talked a little bit about the rules, right? There's often the rules are printed on a sign, but it's the unspoken rules that, like you said, depending on the dog park and the personalities, there's a lot of rules that you don't even really know about until somebody offers them up to you.
Are we talking about etiquette? Is there dog park, and how do you, if you're new, imagine you're like a dude going, all right, I'm going to get a dog and maybe I'll bring it to the dog park and maybe I'll meet some girls or some dudes at the dog park, and that'll be the place where I can, kind of do my thing. And you don't know what you're doing. Generally, you're not supposed to bring a puppy, right? So what if you don't even know that part of it? There's
a lot of rules, and I mean, there's rules on the sign at the door, which is there's an area. Sometimes they separate big dogs from little dogs. So if you have a dog that's under 25 pounds, it should be or under 20 pounds, it should be in the small dog area. But then you've got someone who's got a puppy that's like a Rottweiler. But it's a puppy, so maybe it's over the weight, but it's too young to be with the big dog, so they'll bring it into the small dog area. You have people who bring in dogs that aren't spayed or neutered, so that's always a big thing. If there's a humper, going around.
Can you say that? Excuse me. Yes. Listen, I don't mean to be rude, but is your dog?
I don't know if Camille's like me, but I just wait for somebody else to say it because I know somebody is going to say it.
Someone's going to say it. And the second someone knows that your little humper dog isn't neutered, everyone's going to know because that's going to travel like wildfire.
So are there like stereotypical characters that are generally throughout all the dog parks? You know what I mean? Like there's always one of these.
I think there's always one person who doesn't pick up their dog's poop. You know, they're too busy talking and flirting and like not paying attention to their dog, not like looking to see if their dog's behaving or not behaving, and certainly missing it when their dog pops a squat. And if you're not picking up your dog's poop, that's like you're person non grata at the dog park. Like everyone knows you're the person who doesn't pick up your poop. So then what you also have is that secondary person who's always going to be the person to tell that person that their dog's pooping. So they'll be like, toodaloo, toodaloo, you know, it's poop scoop time. You know, they'll say it really friendly, but.
So basically if I missed a poop and the next time I go to the dog park, somebody is a little cold, that might be it.
You would have probably already been shamed by then, I think.
Before. I wouldn't basically come back the next day and go, why are they not being so nice to me? Well, somebody didn't pick up their poop yesterday. I'm not going to say who, but.
Yeah, you'll know. You'll feel the cold shoulder, I think, and you'll figure it out. Yeah.
I find dog parks very, like, I go in expecting, like, I'm nervous. I'm just like, I'm all bound up going, what? Am I not doing the right thing? Even so, I spent years as a vet tech, and I'm even like in this zone of like, oh my God, somebody's going to see something I'm doing, and they're not going to be okay with it, or I have to like give my husky an extra brush beforehand, so he has the perfect coat of fur, so nobody's like, you got to brush your husky, because somebody always says something about something. It
can be a judgmental space for sure, and in some ways, it's really freeing if you're like an introvert and you're not really into social like small talk and stuff like that, because no one cares about you. They're all talking about the dog. So like people don't know your name. Like it's like, oh, you're Buster's dad or Darcy's mom, and no one asks you like, what do you do for a living? Like they don't care. It's all about the dogs, which can be really freeing, but at the same time, then you can't always, like, I have a dog that's really excitable, and sometimes she can't read a room. And I feel personally like that's a reflection of me somehow when she's jumping all over this dog much bigger than her and trying to be an alpha to this, you know, German Shepherd or whatever. And she's smacking it in the face. And I have to apologize because I'm embarrassed for her. She doesn't feel embarrassment. She's fine.
So it's basically just a microcosm of communities in general. But I think it's great because you already start with a commonality. There's an icebreaker to every conversation. And if you keep going to the same dog park, generally at the same time, you start to see the same people. You start to meet people. And basically we go there every time. It's like church in essence, but with dogs.
Oh my God, it's totally like church with dogs. That's exactly right. It's just like that, and just as judgmental.
Right, I was gonna say. Oh yeah, they keep bringing their dog to the small area. I don't know why. Why do they keep bringing the dog to this? It's a medium-sized dog. Do they not know it? Excuse me. Do you know it's medium-sized? I mean, is that like?
That's perfect. That's a perfect impression.
Basically, what happens, right? Well, you know, I live actually near a dog park. As a matter of fact, I can walk to what's considered a dog park. However, it's actually an on-leash park, but nobody respects the fact that it's an on-leash park. And so
what's the point of a park if it's on leash?
Exactly.
Is it not enclosed?
It is not enclosed.
Okay, so it's not really a park. It's like a field.
Exactly. It's more of a field. Exactly. It's more of a field. It's not like there's a dog park not far from me in a park called Silver Lake, and it's very much a dog park with a fence, and it's smaller, and it seems to be specifically only for that. But here at this dog, people get, because they're all doing something wrong. Like they're all, they're like, hey, make sure the ranger might come. But they're all like, until the ranger comes, we're all in it together.
It's like when you got an open container on the beach or something. You're just like, we're all doing it, but like, quick, if you see the headlights, throw it in the sand.
Exactly right. And the reason I bring it up is when I used to go play soccer there with my kid, there was always one woman who'd come with her dog. It's unbelievable how unconscious she was. She'd be yelling at the top of her lungs. And I remember this dog's name because I'll always remember it. Biscuit, Biscuit, come here, Biscuit. And I was just like, does she not know? Does she not know?
She doesn't care.
No, oh yeah, or she doesn't care. There's also the people that go, I bring my dogs to the dog park to socialize with other dogs. I'm a lurker. I stay in the background. I don't huddle up.
Says no one about themselves ever. I'm a lurker.
People come and they just like hang out together. They meet there and then their dogs are just doing whatever. I mean, it has a very, like the closest example I can give is like almost like a gym. Some people go there to work out. Some people go to socialize. Same thing with dog park. Some people go to let their dogs play. Others go so they can play.
Yeah, and you could spot them too, because like it'll be like the woman who's got like a full face of makeup and like is wearing high heels on the muddy grass because like she's like she's flirting it up with like Silver Fox over there, like who like there's usually more women. At least in my experience, there's usually more women than men at the dog park. So like the few like maybe single guys, they're like it's like fresh meat. It's like everyone's kind of interested in who the single guys are at the dog park, So it's
in
like
my experience
market.
too, in Massachusetts, I'm in a very like blue collar area, and the guys that go to the dog park by themselves are the guys that like if the dogs have any sort of interaction that is like even remotely aggressive, even if it's play aggressive, they get in there and they're like, all right, we got to get them out of here. All right, everybody break it up. There's like it's like the macho, like work boot dude that's like trying to be the alpha in the dog park itself.
Yeah, totally. And that guy's probably got like a dog with the spiked collar or something. Like he has to really like assert his masculinity like at the park.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to just keep painting a negative picture, but it is obviously, as you've shared, it's an experience. But for somebody that's never been, right, and it's considering it, like, what are the advantages? What would you say? Yeah, absolutely. Find one. It creates. Could you sort of give some positive aspects of good dog parks?
They're super fun. I mean, it is fun. I would look forward to going. It's like sometimes it's like watching a soap opera where if you could not get involved in the drama yourself, if you could kind of stand outside it, it's very entertaining and very fun. And I do think it's ultimately good for the dogs. Like I do think dogs who don't spend enough time with other dogs it's sort of a disservice to them. I think the dogs really enjoy it. I mean, some dogs don't and they hate it and they'll sit in the corner and not want to participate, and they're just anxious to go back home. Maybe those dogs just let them stay home, that's fine. But, I think overall it's very positive. I love the dog park and I'm going to keep going.
Well,
so it's sorry, Jason, cut across you. So it's basically like life. You need a healthy detachment to really enjoy it.
Oh, that's so zen. That's so zen. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it just seems like literally because if you do have a healthy detachment, as you're going to really enjoy the whole thing. You're going to enjoy the personalities. Your dog is going to get some exercise. It's a place for you to go to acclimate your dog. Maybe they make friends. Do they make friends? I mean, is that they look forward to seeing their friends?
There are some dogs that more than like you might like the owner or the human. You're supposed to say, you're not supposed to say owner. You're supposed to say the dog's human. If you can really like that person, and so you want your dogs to be friends, and just for whatever reason, your dog has no interest in that other dog.
No different
just
than being
like
a parent.
Nothing. Just like I'm sure it's just like having a kid. They'll choose their own friends, and there seems to be no rhyme or reason to it. It must have something to do with scent, is my guess. But yeah, you can't control who your dog decides is their friend. Yeah.
But also, like, one of the things that I personally love about dog parks, to paint it in a pro picture, because I've been negative as well, is getting to see all the other dogs too. You get to go and like, I think I'm more into the dogs than my dogs are. So I'm like the guy who's petting everybody, and like, I'm that guy, the creepy lurker, as I put it earlier. But also you have clearly, because your book, Social Animals, takes place in a dog park. The people watching must have been a big part of what you did as a sort of fly on the wall or tennis ball in the corner kind of vibe.
I was very inspired by the people at the dog park, so much so that I sort of decided to redo the whole novel that I was working on and set it at a dog park. I was so inspired by the setting. I was like, I've got to write a dog park novel. Like, I've got to take this story that I'm working on and set it around a dog park and make the inciting incident have to do with dogs. and just fill it with as many dogs as I can. And honestly, the novel was not working before I made that decision. And then it just took on a life of its own.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So when you go to a dog park, Jason, and you're like, oh, I love all these. Is it like going for me, like going to a motorcycle show where I want all those. I want to have those as well. Because I know your dogs seem to multiply,
yes.
Jay.
There is a reason why my wife doesn't like me to go to dog parks because, eventually I'll see another mixed breed, or we adopt a lot of shelter dogs. So we have a lot of mixed breeds, and, they have their own personalities and vibes. So you get to spend time with different types of dogs you don't normally spend time with. And you're like, oh, well, I really, interested in huskies now. And now I have a husky. So
is there always somebody that's like, well, I'm just borrowing them for a while and I'm just fostering for them. But
there are borrowers.
He or she is borrowers. Looking for. So basically they're looking to give the dog away. They're bringing a new dog to the dog park every week.
I haven't seen that, but I've seen people who maybe they want to be hanging out at dog parks. So they borrow their friend's dog and say, hey, I'm just watching the dog for the day, that kind of stuff.
There has to be a character that doesn't really like dogs in your book, but has to go there because it's a social scene. Come on.
There is a character in my there is you nailed that one. Yeah.
Well, because I make Jason read all the books. Right? So he would know,
reader.
but I'm
asking you. I can see why all the books in the background.
Yeah, well, I make him
writing
read
also.
No, I don't read. This is just for show.
Yeah. It's not even really books. It's just
it's actually a secret passageway to a dog park.
That's what it is. So the one I mentioned. Go on. Sorry.
I lost my train of thought.
I was just talking about that isn't in the dog.
Yeah, the main character. Like, there's three main characters, but Val is sort of the anchor character of the book, and she doesn't want a dog at all. She's actually a PI. She's a former con artist, present PI, who's been hired by one of the other women's husbands to spy on her at the dog park because he thinks that she's having an affair. And in order to do this job, to infiltrate the dog park, she needs a dog. She does not want dogs. She does not want a dog. She doesn't like dogs. And she ends up adopting this little Brussels Griffon, which happens to be the same breed of dog that I have, which is not an easy breed to handle. So I gave the character with the least, that least wanted a dog, the worst behaved dog in the entire book.
The biggest challenge as far as having a dog.
Exactly. That's had to be the way it went.
Finally, Camille, my favorite part of the dog park is when you're already in there, a new dog arrives, and all the other dogs get so excited and they run over to greet him, and they're all friendly, usually all friendly, and it's like a welcoming party. And I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that in terms of like what we humans can take away to learn from our dogs in how we interact with each other.
Oh, so much. Like, if we were all children, like kids in the sandbox or whatever, will walk up to one another and say, hey, I want to play with you. Do you want to play with me? And they'll just start to play. And like, if only we could, as adults, be a little bit more like that. Like, I don't know about you, but I find as an adult, it's really difficult to make new friends.
Yep.
It's so much easier when you're younger.
The idea of doing that just terrifies me.
Seriously, I make a new friend like once every 10 years, like no joke. But when you see the dogs do that, it is sort of inspiring, and I do think there's a lesson to be learned there about how we can sort of take a few boundaries down. Like, maybe we don't want to necessarily start immediately sniffing each other's butts or anything like that, but there's something to be said for being open to the new person when they step in through the gate.
Yeah, and they don't care what breed it is. They don't care what color fur it has. They just want to hang out.
Exactly.
Last question for me. Your personal number one dog park faux pas.
Oh, wow. I mean, honestly, I spoke of this before because it is my faux pas, but it's when there's not a neutered dog, when dogs aren't spayed or neutered. That's like, to me, that's just bad because it could end up like impregnating another dog, and it makes them behave really badly. But I also really resent the people who don't clean up after their dog. I just think it's an easy thing to do, and it's sort of the social contract you sign when you agree to have a dog. Like, if you don't want to be picking up its waste, you shouldn't have it, like, that's how I feel.
Our next musical guest is Ryan Hamilton to perform the Come to Jesus moment.
I heard a lot of people have that feeling once they watch one of our episodes, Danny, which is...
They have the Come to Jesus moment?
They do. And that song is off of Ryan's latest album, Haunted by American Dreams. Here he is, Ryan Hamilton.
Here it comes, the come to Jesus moment, like a storm over this town. Adios to hallelujah. And if you burn that bridge, burn it down. The doorbell rings, no one's been invited. You keep still and pray they go away. You check to find a Bible on your front steps, and you can't bring yourself to throw it away. Here it comes, come to Jesus, like a storm over this town. Adios to hallelujah. And if you burn that bridge, burn it down. Another day, another uninvited evangelical is at your door. Turn off the lights, there's comfort in the darkness. I'm pretty sure that God ain't keeping score. Here it comes, come to Jesus, like a storm over this town. Adios to hallelujah. And if you burn that bridge, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. 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 Here it comes, the come to Jesus moment, like a storm over this town. Here it comes, come to Jesus, like a storm over this town. Adios to hallelujah. And if you burn that bridge, burn it down.
Well, there it is. That's the show for today. Next week, we've got Marissa Coughlan to talk about reinvention, Dr. Greg Jackson. This one was fascinating to talk about history repeating itself.
And our musical guest next week is Sunken Man. So be there in 7 days.
Yeah, can't wait. And as always, thanks for listening.